Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to go over all the Mass Effect DLC that's included in the Legendary Edition. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned. Here we go. Alright, so as you can tell, Mass Effect is only 10 days away. 10 days away. That means it's Tuesday. We have 3 days this week. And then literally next Friday, I'll be playing this game, and I hope you will too. So let's go over everything, all the DLCs that are in the game. Originally, Mass Effect, the first one, had 2 DLCs in the game. We discussed a little bit about it yesterday. Pinnacle Station is not included in the DLC because they had some issues with the file. The originated file was actually corrupt, so they couldn't. It would take actually too long for them to rebuild and include it in there. But the other DLC that you get in the game is called Bring Down the Sky. Bring Down the Sky, where you actually first are introduced to the Batarian race. Of course, they play a little bit more of a prominent role as you continue through the series, Mass Effect 2 and 3. But here you're introduced to them, and you actually go to the Asgard system. It's about 90 minutes long, so it's definitely a good DLC to have fun with. And, you get to meet the Batarian, so why not? But that's about it for Mass Effect 1. I will note on the Pinnacle Station is actually still playable on both PC and Xbox 360. Remember, Mass Effect was originally an Xbox exclusive, so you can play those on the original 360 and the PC version if you want. You can have that in include that and play Pinnacle Station, but for the purposes of Legendary Edition, it will not be included. That's the only one. Sad, but life goes on. So next we have Mass Effect 2. Now, this one actually had the most DLC in the entire trilogy, and there's a bunch of story-based gameplay that was added to this. There, of course, they have the standard weapons packs and armor packs, but you actually had the ability to add 2 squad mates. Kasumi, the Stolen Memory. So, Kasumi Gato is actually one of the squad mates you can add to the Normandy once you complete both her missions in Stolen Memory. Her dossier is titled The Master Thief, and she gets with Commander Shepard, to help infiltrate the heist of a vault belonging to a deadly master criminal. And depending on the decisions you make in Mass Effect 2, Kasumi may or may not be in Mass Effect 3. It's important to note, I'm not giving spoilers, but certain decisions you make in the game will dictate whether she continues on to the third part of the third game in the trilogy. The other squad mate, Zaeed, the Price of Revenge. So Zaeed Massini is the second squad mate you can add via DLC in Mass Effect 2. He's kind of built a reputation for himself as a mercenary, a gun for hire. Actually, his dossier is labeled the Veteran, since he has former ties from serving in the Alliance military. So he is another player you can add, and important to note, depending again on the decisions you make in Mass Effect 2, you may have Zaeed in Mass Effect 3. Another huge DLC that a lot of people are very familiar with was the Lair of the Shadow Broker. Now, having played the first, or Mass Effect 2 the first time without the DLC, I could say, I felt Liara was actually very organic in the way she was brought in to the game, considering how big of a part she was in 1 and kind of nowhere to be found in 2. I did feel like they brought her in organically, but when I played the second time and I had Lair of the Shadow Broker, I felt like it was kind of gimmicky, like she was locked behind a paywall. So it's enjoyable without it, but it's definitely much more enjoyable with it. They did a good job of writing her into the game, I felt. But once I played, again, the DLC, I'm like, wow, she should have been there the whole time. But her mission, she helps you, there's things you have to investigate, and you can actually rekindle the romance with Liara if you had chose to romance her in the first one. So I leave that up to you. Another DLC, Overlord. This one you investigate a Cerberus research facility that has kind of gone rogue or dark. It's actually a really good DLC. I don't want to give away any spoilers in case anybody's not played it, but I'm sure I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling that how you react in Overlord once you play it in this Legendary Edition will help or hurt your war asset table at the end of Mass Effect 3. So I think that's going to be an interesting way that they can tie it in. I hope so. I would like it to be part of it, depending on some of these DLCs, how you play them, if that affects or, if it hurts or helps your war asset table, since multiplayer is not in the game. But we'll find out in 10 days. And another one you have is, of course, the Normandy crash site, which, at the beginning of 2, Normandy goes down, so you can actually go visit the site. It doesn't have a whole lot of, stuff to do at the crash site, but for the nostalgia, it's definitely worth playing. Arrival, another DLC that has a lot of, again, revolving around the Batarian. You follow your Shepard, to the Galaxy's Edge, and kind of try to find an agent that's gone missing. So I'm not going to say anything else more about that, but Arrival is a fun DLC if you want to play that. And then finally, the promotional packs, weapons and armors. So you have the Firewalker Pack, Cerberus weapon armor pack, Equalizer pack, which includes the Inferno armor, that Aegis pack, which has another weapon, an M29 Incisor, Fire Power pack, the Arc Projector, a couple different alternative packs for ME for Mass Effect 2. You have Alternative Pack 1 and Alternative Appearance Pack 2. You have the Collector's Weapons, Recon Operations, Terminus Weapon and Armor, Blood Dragon Armor, which I like because I'm a huge BioWare fan, so I love any of those crossovers and those, the teasers they have across multiple games. And then there's the Dr. Pepper promotional items, which includes the Recon Hood, the Sentry Interface, and the Umbra Visor, which I have never actually had the Dr. Pepper promotional items, so I look forward to trying those out. Especially for us veterans that have played the game a lot. Some of these you did have access or you didn't have access to, depending on what platform you played on. If you drank Dr. Pepper apparently, or if you pre-ordered or not. So all of this being in the game, I think especially for us veterans that have played. I know I've played Mass Effect 2 at least 12 times, and probably another 10 to 12 on Mass Effect 3. So going through with all these different appearance packs and different weapons and armor packs and different skins, it's going to be a lot of fun to revisit a place that I love, a universe that I love, and also be able to change up a little bit because it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to try it out. And then finally, Mass Effect 3, which did not have as much DLC as Mass Effect 2 did, but it had a lot of important, fun DLC. And then, of course, the biggest one was the extended cut, which they created the patch after release and is now the default ending, the extended cut. I'm not going to give away the ending or anything, but a lot of the stuff that, the player base was kind of upset about, maybe not have changed, but it did provide some closure and everything throughout the series. So, at least the best that they could to not necessarily have a canon ending. So, Mass Effect 3, first one we're going to talk about is From Ashes. Basically, this is where you meet, your favorite Prothean, the only Prothean left, Javik. And, Javik was another one where I played, the first time Mass Effect 3 without him. Didn't realize, how important of a character he was. But then when you play with him, didn't really feel like I was missing anything. But when I played again with Javik, I'm like, oh my gosh, this game is it feels like a different game, a much more enhanced game. So I feel like that was kind of one they locked behind a paywall too. EA being EA, of course. No offense to the higher ups, I realize you're a business, you got to do what you got to do. But that kind of felt like it was locked behind a paywall, and the consumers that didn't get it really didn't get to enjoy the game as it was meant to be enjoyed. But that mission itself is not super long. It's not, it's maybe 20 minutes, but the interactions with Javik and the stuff he adds to the conversations later on through Mass Effect 3, that's why I felt like he was originally in the game and they pulled him out and made him a paywall, because it just felt like he should have been there the entire time. Once you unlock him, you'll if you haven't before, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Another huge DLC, Mass Effect 3, Leviathan, which unlocked new areas of the map for players to explore, and it helps Shepard get some answers about the Reapers, especially where they came from. And then it also gives you new people on the Citadel to interact with. So that one, Leviathan, was is a really fun DLC for the, especially if you're into the lore. And I think a lot of people that have played this game 10, 12, 15 times, they stick around because of the lore, because of the universe. They're on Reddit reading about it, so and contributing, and even putting their own fan spin on it. So I know I do. I love Mass Effect, and I love the whole universe. So Leviathan's a really fun one, coming from the creators of the entire universe. So definitely check it out once you have Legendary Edition. Omega, I like Omega a lot. It was actually fun getting with Arya and trying to regain control of Omega. Considering she left Omega in the beginning of 3 because of the Reapers and because of her interaction with Cerberus, and you talk to her, especially when you unlock her, if you go through her missions and you unlock all the players that she's able to bring, all the gangs that she's able to bring from Omega to help you out and build your war asset table up. There's a lot that finishing that story arc, it's a lot of fun. So definitely give that one a try. And then honestly, the most iconic of all of the DLC across the entire trilogy, Citadel. You get one last hurrah with the entire cast. Definitely one of the most recognized of the entire trilogy is the Citadel DLC. It really depends on who you had survive from the beginning of the story all the way to the end. Anybody that did survive, and I'm not trying to give spoilers, but based on your decisions throughout the game, that's who dictates who's in Citadel. So it really feels like, wow, my decisions had weight. Everything I did, every extra side mission, every extra story building mission, like, it really pays off in that DLC, kind of. At least that's how I felt when I played, so hopefully you do as well. And then, of course, you have different promotional packs, weapons and armor, again, from Mass Effect 3, which would be the alternate appearance pack, the firefight pack, the groundside resistance pack, London, N7 warfare gear, the A12 Raider, the M55 Argus, and a couple of different ones that I never got was the N7 Collector Edition pack, and the Kingdoms of Amular crossover promotional items. I don't know if anybody remembers Kingdoms of Amular, however you pronounce it, but they actually just remastered that game and got released. That was Kurt Schilling's company that came up with that game, and it was actually a really good game. It's just unfortunate that they kind of ran out of proceeds and were very mismanaged at the top. But that game was that promotional item was in part of BioWare's Mass Effect 3. So it's something that you get to try if you never did get to try it the first time. I did not. But man, I don't know about everybody else, but I cannot hold my excitement. We're talking 10 days till we get to play this game. So again, I appreciate everyone sticking around, watching the video. Our last video yesterday is actually doing pretty well. I'm excited for it, and I think everyone's kind of hungry for more Mass Effect, so I'm going to bring as much as I can. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the below. If there's any videos you want to see this channel make, let us know below as well. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Take care, and we'll see you next time.